Glendale police say they're working on identifying and arresting the people involved in last night's protest at 67th Avenue and Camelback.
The protest grew to about 1,000 people, and as the night wore on, the crowd got violent and unruly. Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez joins us live with the details. Ashley.
Hey, John and Christine, I want to bring your attention to this brand new video we just got into our newsroom. This is dash cam video from a cop car from Glendale PD. What this has to do with peaceful protesting, I don't know. But not only did this mob block traffic, they damaged businesses, they damaged 5 cop cars, they threw cement blocks at officers' heads. At one point, they drove a patrol car down the street. It was absolutely chaotic and wild. And with these immigration protests happening consistently, I asked police today what they plan to do to keep these protests from becoming riots.
67th Avenue and Camelback sounded like a war zone Sunday night. Glendale and Phoenix police teamed up wearing riot gear as a small, peaceful immigration protest swelled into a mob 1,000 deep, filling the intersection, stopping traffic, and resorting to violence.
There was times when individuals were throwing chunks of concrete that they'd found in the area at officers. Explosive devices like fireworks were going off near some of the officers' heads. One blew up near her leg and gave her a little welt.
Glendale police say others damaged patrol cars, kicking out windshields, even jumping inside one of the police vehicles while the keys were still in it.
And they took off, driving down the road with the lights on and everything.
Businesses in the area experienced damage, as well as cars parked in nearby lots. The manager of a 7-Eleven told me his employee had to lock the doors and shelter in place.
Scary, actually. You see a lot of people you see in the outside. Is a crowd do anything. Luckily, we are safe over here.
But by Monday, not one person had been arrested. I asked officers why they didn't intervene in the chaos and make arrests on the spot.
These people were committing these crimes. There just was no opportunity at the time to move up safely so that officers weren't getting hurt. We weren't going to send just 1 or 2 officers to chase somebody into a crowd. It's just not safe to do that.
Instead, Glendale PD says it's reviewing surveillance video taken from the chopper and social media, and is confident they will find the culprits. Hispanic residents who can empathize with the protest against President Trump's immigration policies say they hope police will start sending a message for the sake of their neighborhood.
It's just out of control. It's dumb. All these people from Mexico and all that, they have to grow up. Act their age. This is dumb.
So Glendale police say these protests are legal. Even though they don't look very legal, they are legal and protected by our constitutional rights. It's their right to gather peacefully, but they are unorganized. So it's not like police can just go up to the head organizer and figure out where they need to be to keep everybody safe. They have to keep an eye on social media to find out when and where these almost spontaneous protests are going to pop up, and then they prepare accordingly. They are aware of another protest happening this week at the state capitol. That's happening simultaneously with others across the nation. It's going to be Wednesday at noon. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you. The Pentagon is preparing to deploy 1,000 additional troops to support President Trump's immigration crackdown. About 500 of those troops will head to the southern border, and another 500 Marines will head to Guantanamo Bay. The Pentagon says the troops will assist with border security and help manage detained migrants.
Mexico and Canada both winning a 1-month reprieve from the tariffs that President Trump threatened to levy.
This gives the nations time to reach a deal on fighting fentanyl and border security. President Trump was set to impose a 25% tariff on goods from Mexico and from Canada. Both countries have cut temporary deals, putting off a potential North American trade war. Mr. Trump has been threatening tariffs as punishment for Mexico and Canada, allowing illegal drugs and migrants to cross the borders into the U.S.
So the call with Mexico went very well in the sense that they're very strong now on the border. They're going to put soldiers there. So, actually, they're best military soldiers, and they're going to be at the border, 10,000. That's a lot of soldiers.
He's also going after China, saying the government there is not doing enough to stop the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. China says it will fight the tariffs by taking legal action at the World Trade Organization, but it's unclear how the WTO could intervene.
A suspect in custody here in the Valley after authorities say he shot at officers in Mesa this morning. It happened at a townhome complex near 32nd and Broadway. When officers got there, a person who had called 911 told police that a family member was acting erratically, threatening to kill himself. At one point, the suspect appeared in the doorway and fired at officers. No one was hurt, and police were able to take the suspect into custody after a long standoff. He has not been identified.
New information tonight surrounding a fatal car crash in Mesa that happened this morning. Police now say 3 people are dead, including an 8-year-old girl, and speeding is considered a factor.
This happened off of Val Vista in Southern this morning. Lauren Clark joins us live with what happened. Lauren.
Well, John and Christina, an absolutely heartbreaking story to unfold here right on Val Vista. The road is currently open, but certainly the grief that these families will feel will continue for years on end. Mesa Police has identified 2 of the victims, including 42-year-old Troy Garlock, along with an 8-year-old girl who was inside his car at the time of the crash. Officers say this all started when a 29-year-old driver stole a truck.
Within 2 seconds, I heard the and then within about 3 more seconds, it was over. It was over for everybody.
Meshach Fletcher was walking to the convenience store near his Mesa home when he heard it.
And then I just heard the engine revving up, like it's like the NASCARs, you know, like. And then so I turned around, and I saw a white truck that was just kind of like really speeding, at least doing 80 or 90.
A truck barreling on Val Vista, causing a fatal head-on collision. Mesa police identified the truck as a stolen Ford F-250 taken from Gilbert shortly before the crash. Officers haven't released the name of the 29-year-old man driving the truck, but say he directly hit a Nissan Armada going in the opposite direction. Inside that car was Troy Garlock and 2 girls, ages 6 and 8. The force of the crash crunched vehicles, scattering debris across Val Vista Road. The collision so severe that firefighters had to extricate people from their cars. While 2 adults, the 29-year-old truck driver and Garlock, died at the scene, first responders drove the 2 girls to the hospital. That's where the 8-year-old girl later died. The 6-year-old is still being treated at the hospital. As for Fletcher, he says to always tell loved ones you love them, because you never know what day will be your last.
Never gonna forget about this. It's gonna be on my mind for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
And police say there was actually a 3rd car involved in this crash too. However, that driver had minor injuries and was not taken to the hospital. Reporting live here in Mesa, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.
Lauren, thanks. It is beginning to warm up as we begin the month of February.
Yeah, man, it was kind of hot out there today. Meteorologist Erica Horvatine is here with a look at the numbers. Erica.
Hey guys, yeah, look at these temperatures right now across the entire metro. We are currently sitting at 90 degrees in Fountain Hills and 86 in Tempe. A couple of these spots are actually warmer than we are in downtown Phoenix, where we're at 85 degrees. But all around, everybody made it into the 80s today. And across the rest of the state, temperatures are in the low 70s and upper 60s across the mountains up north, 58 in Flagstaff. A couple of spots are starting to cool down a couple of degrees. Our high was 86 today, and that is typical of mid-April. So we are seeing these temperatures a good 2.5 months earlier than normal, which very clearly that puts us into record territory. So today we ended up breaking record daily high temperatures in Phoenix, Prescott, Show Low, Kingman, and in Window Rock. So all across this state, from here in the valley all the way up north to the northeast, northwest, etc. But tomorrow we're not expected to see as many of those record highs. We'll only see 3. Phoenix, Show Low, and Window Rock expected to tie or break records, and we'll be making it back into the mid-80s tomorrow. But this warmth is not going to last too much longer. We do have some cooler weather on the way by the end of the week. We'll have a look at that coming up in the full forecast.